Going on, everybody? In this video series I'm going to try to build a song from start to finish in style of Anyma. So before beginning some song, I just use a reference tag, and in this reference tag I create some locators to help me out what's happening inside those songs, like how the song begins with kick and bass, and what's going to add next. Had some rolling bass, and which some breaks, some builds and drops, and how many bars is used for the breaks or builds or drops. It's helped me out with some mixing, mastering, everything for the producer needs. You can use a reference track, right? So moving further, let's begin with our video. In this first video I will be focusing on the kicks and drums, and later on I will be uploading videos about the bass design and rolling basses and mixing, mastering, everything in the complete video series about the Anyma. So first begin with our kicks. Let me just close that. In this video series I'm using very punchy kicks because Anyma has very punchy kick in its latest song. As you hear, it's got something like boom 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 boom, something like that, like some 808 kicks. So I just got some punchy kicks from Production Music Live sound pack. As you can see, it has very punchy beginning and it has very long tail. So let's hear the kick. So you see it's very punchy. So after that I just use some EQ to get rid of some unwanted frequencies. What I'm going to advise you that about the kicks is I'm using G minor scale in this video series. Alright, so if you're using your kicks in the note scale, you will be going to hear very clear sound after you finish your song. Right? You can use C note, basic C note, or D note, E note, anything, any notes the kicks placed. But if you use your scale note in the kick, it will sound much richer, like that. G note is around 49 Hertz in the frequency scale. If you look at that, you will see in the 49 Hertz I got my picks, right? You see here. So my kicks is actually in the G note. The punch part is in the G note. So that will make my song much richer sound. If you give some attention to that, you can use what you cannot find directly to the kick that's in like A note, but you can use some detuning, like adjusting its sorry, I can find it in here, but you can use down or upgrade its pitch. I can find that word. I need to look at it and get some note in that scale too. Okay, so after the kicks we have hi-hats and snares, and in this song I will create some pattern, something like that. Okay, so let's grab some hi-hats. You see that, right? And snares every 2 bar. So I just got some basic drums loop. Okay, and before going any further, actually I just remembered something that helps you out in the mixing and mastering part, using utility and span in every channel you create. Okay, so what is the help, what is the reason, and how does it going to help you out in the mixing and mastering is, let's see the kick, only kick. You see that? Let me just this part, you see I don't have enough room for for me to add another element in this frequencies, because it's actually loaded with just by kick. Okay, so if I'm going to use a utility and decrease that around minus 12 dB, why minus 12? Just prefer that in the song you just decide what's the most important element in my song, like kick, bass, or snares. What's your song's types is about? You just need to decide that and keep the important things in the minus 12 dB. Alright, like that. I just keep in my kick is around minus 12, 13 or 14 dBs. It's not that exactly minus 12 dB. Okay, so how does it help? As you hear in this part, I have a very big level in this part of my song that I can insert some bass around those frequencies, or add some high frequency elements, and I have some space for that purpose. Okay, after that I'm going to add my hats and snares, and my hi-hats must be here, not louder than the kicks, but it's a little bit down, around minus 14 to 13 dBs. So let me adjust that around minus 13 dB, 14 dB as you hear. I don't just directly EQing it, it's part of the mixing. If I choose a sample sprite, I don't need some EQs. I don't need EQ is not that important for before we evaluating to the mixing part, if I'm saying that right. Okay, so you need to choose your sound right to get rid of some EQing before the mixing. Okay, so let's insert some snares. You can see the snare is very high, so let's just copy utility and span together and drop it in the snare. Right. We can copy. Okay, let's see. You see that? I don't want that loud snare. That's good. Let me drop some EQ for later purposes. Okay. So after the snares, hi-hats, and kicks, I just group them. Maybe I'm going to add another hi-hat or another snare or something like that. So group is used for, let's say you need to add some reverb to just on the kicks. You can use those group channel here. It makes the things much more easier. So let's continue with claps. So let's insert some MIDI track. Nope. Insert MIDI track. Rename as clap. And swoop. I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm sure. Okay. Oh, whatever. I'm getting a little bit angry. Okay, so let's add some claps through that. Control Shift and M, and let's just grab utility and span and EQ. Drop all, something like Let me just actually doing that. Okay. Let's find some clap first. Check the able to stock plugins to help you out. I want those. Maybe that one. Well, I just need to like something like that. Let me go around that. Yeah, that's nice. And add another clap and rename that as clap center. And add another clap that's named as pen. And another clap with pen. Add like that. And pen those around something like that. Okay. Oops. Okay. I just got my club center right here, and then let's see. Let's see something like that. Oh, I can use those. And group those. Name this clips. And let me grab my utility and spin and put it right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm moving those to here and moving those to here. Okay, so I just got my basic drums. What you can add is add some drum rooms, maybe, to some elements. Let's see, C, D, F. Okay, he's got some drums. So this is it for the video. I'll see you in the later videos. It's about the bass atmosphere. Keep going on like that, okay? So have a very good day. I will see you later.